It's especially frustrating because the website really is fun, but developer Beanox wasn't able to keep the momentum going once again.
Nothing else is a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, even an 8 out of 10! When it's the same thing over and over and over.
Spider-Man PS4 is a game that sparks love and jealousy, ignorance and bitterness. But despite this, I feel like we owe Spider-Man PS4's community a lot of—
But you would know that people tend to lash out in a fit of emotion at times, and or hold certain grudges when they are too stubborn to get over it in their current mindset. And also in real life, this is always apparent in girls most of the time. Let's not act like girls don't sometimes burst out in fits of emotion and or treat someone like an asshole in certain situations.
Spider-Man PS4 has one of the most embarrassing communities I have ever seen. I don't even know what the discussions are around this game. You have people mad that the faces change every game. You have people claiming that white moms designed Miles' haircut. You have weird comic book neckbeards judging the game as an adaptation. And then brain dead people who I just have nothing to say about. This is a game that was bound to get criticized, but the truth is, I have only seen this game get criticized fairly 3 times in my entire life. I feel like Spider-Man PS4 is a very special type of game where you really have to be familiar with game design and storytelling to see clearly, because it's in a place where most people will look at it and say, awesome Spider-Man game with good graphics and action. And the critiques will be some weird shit like,
not only does the initial blow to the stomach risk internal bleeding and shock, but whichever wall they're going to hit on the way will add on to the injuries, which can result in serious trauma to the back of the head or the neck area.
So guys, let's go ahead and check out the Spider-Man PS4 critics. Holy fuck. Never mind, let's actually start with this one.
But this is by far one of the worst games.
One of the worst games? One of the worst?
But even these paid reviews, all this fake hype surrounding this game was not enough to save this trash game. I mean, there is a reason why it's sitting at only an 87 on Metacritic. 87! That is a terrible score!
Shit! Holy crap, how did it only get an 87 on Metacritic? Wait, okay, what happened to the UI? What the hell? Anyways, we know that only a mentally disabled ape with an IQ less than 7 would actually be talking about the critic reviews, because as we know, those are paid off. So let's check out some user reviews. Great game! Another win for PS4. This is a must-to-have game. Pure 10 in my book. 5 out of 10. I love Spider-Man, but this felt repetitive. The main story was great, but was padded out with a lot of copy-pasta missions. Felt like a Ubisoft title. Holy shit. 8 out of 10. Remove the forced MJ missions and it would be about a 6. But with the forced MJ missions, it's a 0. God, you Insomniac! You fucking... The MJ missions are worth 6 points! And you put them in anyway, you amateur fucks! What kind of rookie beginner mistake is that? Have you ever read the How to Make a Spider-Man game book? MJ missions are worth 6 points! How could you be so stupid? Overrated, do not buy. Just an Avengers reskin, not fun. Wait. This is actually an Avengers reskin? What are you doing? Avengers is a movie. Why would you try to take it and reskin it into a game, you idiots? What are you thinking? Plays like an average Ubisoft game, but with better graphics, a decent story, and no microtran. Oh my god, wait. Insomniac, did you actually forget to put microtransactions in the game? What the? You think I'm a joke? You think my life is a joke? What are we doing here? Are you serious? I would have given this game a 9 out of 10 or even 10 out of 10 for the main campaign because the game was stable, polished, and fun to play with an amazing story. It was definitely my game of the year. Unfortunately, I had the misfortune of playing the 3 DLC packs too and it ruined the game for me. Oh my god. Oh my god. You put in DLC that ruins the game? Let me actually see what this DLC. What the fuck? Why would you put in the worst comic book character ever created? The most lazy, blatant, corny Catwoman ripoff. Black Cat. What are you doing? Insomniac.
Then why are you stealing it?
If I don't,
they'll kill my son.
Incredibly beautiful Assassin's Creed clone. Fuck! Fuck! Assassin's Creed? Fuck! This is brutal right now. Like, you gotta feel bad for Insomniac. Like, imagine creating something and the substance of it is so brain dead and idiotic that it's like a child made it. Like, obviously the creation is not a one-to-one representation of your intelligence, but you have to think that you're genetically inferior to be able to create such a stupid review. I mean game. About a year ago, I made a video about Spider-Man PS4 and named it the most overrated game of all time. The point of this video was just progress, to provide insight on my point of view. But with such a bold title, the video attracted a lot of Spider-Man PS4 haters and goofballs. And I don't stand for this! I gotta say, you dudes get too comfortable saying stupid shit and getting away with it. That's not gonna happen. I can't let you get away with that. This video had some good points like the MJ one, but I still think this game is goated. Nah! No, I'm just kidding. That's completely fine. All you clapped heads, come here. Come closer. Closer. Reviews, even as small as this, are not subjective. Think, a review is an experience that someone had with an art form, right? You can't change that. That is set in stone. Of course, that doesn't excuse you from being able to say some dumbass shit that could possibly expose you as a dumbass, but someone's opinion is only theirs. The gameplay is so bland and generic. It's one of the most basic ABC-ass 1-2-3 childish game I've ever played. Okay, you know what? Saying Spider-Man PS4 has ABC-ass gameplay just shows a lack of care when it comes to video games. Especially these days where so many actual ABC-ass games come out, you have to give Spider-Man PS4 credit. If you want to play an ABC-ass game, go play Starfield, or Armored Core, or GTA. Spider-Man PS4 is a game that actually requires thought, and that's literally all I have to say. I think the problem is that the last few Spider-Man games were mid. That's why when a Spider-Man game that's better than both comes out, people praise it to heaven. Wow, that was actually spot on. I swear there's actually bad comments on this video. Let me just look more. It's the PlayStation and Spider-Man fanboys combined who have hyped this game up. Monotonous side missions, dumb enemy AI, dead open world, repetitive combat. Okay, that was a pretty decent analysis. Let's keep reading. Spider-Man Miles Morales was so much better than Spider-Man 2018. Okay, nah, you blew it. Spider-Man PS4 is objectively the same game as Spider-Man Miles Morales, and saying it's much better implies there's some super drastic difference. And shallow open world, I mean, it's a Spider-Man game. I don't think Spider-Man is supposed to be exploring the city that he lives in. It's pretty much there just for Spider-Man to swing around in. If this game didn't have an open world, it would be worthless next to something like Shattered Dimensions. Spider-Man fans were tired of swinging around in box-ass cities, so this is what they wanted. Most of the content is in the story anyways. You're acting like this is Breath of the Wild. I think of this game as a not that great attempt to replicate the Arkham series. Yes! Yes, I agree. This game definitely wasn't building off the previous open world Spider-Man games. And yes, I agree that they didn't do a good job because they forgot to put in the brain-dead combat from the Batman games. I love this. Oh shit! This game's writing is awful and the gameplay is mid. 6 out of 10. But no, honestly, I don't think it's fair to say that this game has awful writing. The thing here is that Spider-Man PS4 fans really don't know what good writing looks like. They don't really care about complex meaning or themes or nuance or arcs. They just want to see what they want to see from the story. And that goes in line with most people on the internet. Spider-Man PS4 fans will be like, oh my god guys, Peter went after Fisk instead of paying for the rent. What a great story. It's kind of hard to explain, but an extreme that shows what people value in stories are main character deaths. Look at this Reddit thread about Miles dying in the next game. If either of them die, I won't like it. I'd rather have them both be available for future games. Killing off the protagonist in superhero stories is always the dumbest idea. Insomniac knows better. Peter, Miles, and even MJ are safe. It would be a massive shock, and I wouldn't like it. They'd be killing him off for the sake of killing him off. Guy who hasn't even played the game yet. It'd be the dumbest shit ever for Miles to die right now. I'd stop playing after that, to be honest. That would be shit plot writing. I'd be as pissed off as The Last of Us fans after a certain someone died in the sequel. Scratch that. I'd be even more pissed off because what would be the point of building up Miles in a span of 3 games just to kill him off? There it is. People are just obsessed with their characters doing things and payoffs. Like, yes, Miles, keep doing things. Take a nuke, Miles. Yes, Miles, keep achieving things and payoffs. Keep growing and whoa. Don't beat Peter because because he's my favorite guy, but like keep growing, payoffs. Like notice how these people haven't even played the game yet and they already hate Miles dying. Like we don't even know how it was done, what it means to the story or anything about it, and they hate it. All they value is to see characters do things, and if they die, that would be a waste because now they can't do things anymore. But now before I continue, I know people got mad at me spoiling the first episode of Invincible or some shit, but I'm gonna give a warning because this is actually good stuff. I'm gonna spoil The Boys, The Last of Us 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Daredevil. There's your warning. Black Noir is the perfect example of this. In season 3, he gets so much development with this past with Soldier Boy and how he's afraid, and then he just dies to Homelander. Everybody's reaction to this was, what the heck, dude? Why didn't he have a Marvel-ass fight with Soldier Boy? The entire point of season 3 was to show the parallels between Homelander and Soldier Boy, and ultimately Noir pays the price because he didn't see the connection. Last of Us 2, people were insanely mad that their favorite guy Joel died. And here we have one of the messiest situations with why people were mad, but I think it really comes down to the fact that people just wanted another Joel and Ellie adventure. Now you're allowed to feel that way, but holding this against the actual game we got shows that you're closed-minded and have a shallow understanding of writing in general. Last of Us 2 haters also really want to kill Abby. They think that killing Abby will make the story good. That's their shitty payoff they want from Last of Us 2. They don't want Ellie to grow as a character. They want Last of Us 3, Tommy goes to kill Abby. The point that I'm trying to make is that most people don't know what makes a story good, or at least they can't recognize the skills and efforts that go into writing. I actually remember people deadass telling me that Arbiter wasn't assassinated in Halo 5 because, oh, he led an army on St. Helios, and that's badass. Like, when you have such shitty writing and people still care about what the characters do, it's just undeniable proof that the people straight up don't care. They don't give a shit about writing. But anyway, let's get back to reading comments, but now on this video about Spider-Man 2. I always felt like I was going insane seeing all the praise this game got, even though it was just like a worse version of the original Spider-Man 2 game for PS2. It's an exaggeration, of course, but like it almost feels required given how many people live and die for that vanilla, boring nothing burger. Honestly, I think I half agree. On one hand, this game is obviously beloved because it's a Spider-Man game that isn't dog shit, like this comment from earlier said, but I do agree when it comes to the story. I feel like if you've played a variety of games, you'll find that the Spider-Man PS4 story really isn't memorable or impactful.
Tsushima, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn. I've played all of these games, and some of them are actually good games. But now I am going to recount everything I remember about the story to these games. I can tell you characters from these games, like the funny Yoda and the talking chicken, but I can't actually recall specific story beats. You know, these stories, they left such little impact on me.
I feel like you're being quick to judge. You saw one finisher and one ability and kind of ignored the ground and pound thing and assumed the worst of Miles. Oh my god. This comment made my stomach like retract or something. Like, do you really think I'm judging the game before I've even played it? What type of caveman 10 million BC comment is this? Like, I don't want to say it kills my faith in humanity, but it definitely does kill some sort of faith in me. Jesus Christ. Game looks fun, bro. Stop hating. Oh my god.
Thank you.
This game looks like it could be the best Spider-Man game on the GS5. I honestly like the enemy faction's design of just being green military instead of just some cringy ass, lame ass samurais. Peter though, now has the Venom suit. So instead of just slap kicking, he's gonna be slapping with big ass juicy tentacles. Changes do look cool. And the story looks way more entertaining than anything before it. And I wish the best of luck to Insomniac with Spider-Man 2. This is the type of comment that makes me feel extraordinary. Like, if you guys are tired of fueling my ego, then stop acting like fucking idiots. Wow, I apologize, but this is the worst take I've ever seen. Alright, so you mean take as an opinion, and you're saying an opinion is the worst? Well, I'm gonna pretend I didn't read that because I refuse to believe anyone is that stupid. But you know what? You wanna talk about the writing? Let's talk about the writing. High Top Films and Cosmonaut Variety Hour. These are two very respected YouTubers that even I really like. And they both love this game's writing. So let's see their reasons for why the writing is good.
This Peter Parker is an adult. He faces real consequences to his actions. In the first 2 minutes of the game, Peter is presented with a choice: pay the rent or go after Fisk. Of course, he chooses to go after Fisk, but then you know what? A few days later, he actually gets evicted. You play a freaking mission where you have to look for your stuff that got thrown away in the eviction.
Holy crap, guys. No way Peter just got evicted. This is such a good story.
They give us scenes like this so that we cry in scenes like this. They turn characters that I could care less about into some of my favorite characters in this Spider-Man mythology. Miles Morales, holy shit.
Wow, Miles? Okay. Why do you like Miles, High Top Films?
Peter and Spider-Man both act as a mentor figure to Miles after he loses his father in a moment that made me go like this.
What?
The way we switch to playing as a powerless Miles after we've been playing as an extremely powerful Spider-Man allows us to feel the vulnerability of human life, the vulnerability that Miles is feeling, and the pain of his father's death.
Oh, because his fucking dad died and now he's sad? There better be more to this.
Miles in this universe, I'll call it the Insomniac verse for now, excites me. I can't wait to see Peter train him. I can't wait to play as him, and I just can't wait.
Okay, that was it?
And that's why Spider-Man is so successful. He is one of us. The relatability is what drives millions of fans to read, watch, and play every single Spider-Man thing. Insomniac understands that.
Okay, Peter is relatable, but that doesn't really mean good writing, does it?
This Peter is a great person, but you know what? Otto becomes a monster, releases the Devil's Breath, and Peter loses an idol. Aunt May dies, Martin Lee bombs the Osborn rally, attempts to release a virus, and ends up a supervillain in the raft. This city is saved, but Peter pretty much loses all his mentor figures. But somehow this wonderful man still remains optimistic. He still keeps on fighting. He still keeps putting on that costume.
Okay, that is not relatable. Peter isn't supposed to be some perfect human that instantly gets over tragedies. I know High Top Films loves Spider-Man 2, and this is why it's such a good movie. So much shit happens to Peter, and he questions whether or not he can handle the responsibility of being Spider-Man. And you can say, oh, well, Peter already lost Uncle Ben, so he knows that already. And to that, what is the point of the story then? How is this story interesting if the main character doesn't grow or learn anything? If Peter is so developed that he can overcome tragedies overnight, then he isn't a compelling or relatable character.
Wow. Just wow. Thank you, Insomniac Games. Thank you for making me love Spider-Man again.
Okay, thank you High Top Films for not explaining why the writing is good, but it's fine because you like the game and I'm glad you found something you like. Cosmonaut Variety Hour. Do not disappoint me.
This Spider-Man universe takes elements from almost every other piece of Spider-Man media. There's stuff from the main Marvel comics, the Ultimate comics, the current MCU movies, the Sam Raimi movies, even the fucking amazing Spider-Man movies. I'm not joking. That's just how good the writing is in this game, and you guys know that out of everything, when I critique something, I look at the writing first, and this game has good-ass writing.
That was it. That's all he said about the writing.
The characters in this game are also pretty flat, and without Peter around, the script is kind of cringy. I personally think Peter Parker is allowed to be cringy, and when he's around, he can make a corny script a little bit better. But Miles on his own just doesn't grab me in this game. If you ask me, I think he really lacks charisma, and that's pretty disappointing considering how good he is in Spider-Verse. As he stands in this game, he just feels like a boring version of Peter Parker, which is the worst thing Miles can end up as when he's not written properly.
Damn, that was brutal, bro. The funny thing is that Miles Morales and Spider-Man PS4 have pretty much the same writing quality, and it's kind of funny that he tears into it so hard. And it's true, man, cringy might be the right word, but I prefer boring. But listen, I don't care that people like Spider-Man PS4's writing, but when you act like it's some masterpiece and you think everyone should agree that it's good, it comes off as borderline ignorant. Here's a chart. To the left, we're going to put Spider-Man PS4, and to the right, we're going to put Red Dead Redemption 2. If you can't tell me what the difference in writing between these two games is, then you clearly don't care enough about writing to take your own opinion seriously. And you know what? Let's add Invincible to the left too. Again, if you can't tell me the difference, then you're a dumbass to take your own opinion seriously. And listen, it's fine if you don't know or care, but if you do care, then listen up, because as I said, I'm trying to help you guys.
You knew. I won't let you win. This means too much to me.
Oh my god, thank you so much for saying that. I could have never figured out why you wanted to win. Oh my god, it's such good writing, dude. Holy.
The way you never gave up. That's because men like us have a duty, a responsibility, to use our talents in the service of others. Even if they don't appreciate it, we have to do what's best for those beneath us, whether they understand it or not. No!
Holy crap, I never could have realized that. Oh my god. That's so good that he just let out a whole ass speech to explain the parallel between his view and Peter's view. That is so real and natural. Holy crap, dude, how did they write this?
As we get older, it's harder to feel that. The weight of the world It bogs us down. But our children remind us of the joys in life. It brings us back, shows us what life is all about. This is humanity.
What the fuck? No, guys. That is so good because isn't it so natural and relatable when you're at the game and your mom or like girlfriend perfectly explains parenthood to you? That is such good writing because I never could have figured that out. And it feels so natural and definitely doesn't feel forced at all.
Dutch, we all did our best for you. Ain't our fault things turned out the way they did. Dutch, killing me won't solve nothing.
Put down your gun, Marston!
Say something, Dutch. Say something! I ain't got too much to say no more.
Shit.
Thank you.
Okay. It's time for you to explain. Wait, what? Where are you going? What? What was that? What? Where are you going? Why didn't he what? Oh my god, dude. Why didn't he perfectly explain why he did what he did? What? How am I supposed to understand now, man? Why didn't they make it super unnatural? Why did they make the humans act like humans? Dude! The difference between the writing in these stories is subtlety. It obviously shows a completely different level of effort in the writing, but the lack of it is also seriously detrimental to the dialogue. The lack of subtlety makes it feel so fake and forced and generic. You guys know the age-old principle, show me, don't tell me. This is exactly that. Honestly, I think that these stories might intentionally be written without subtlety because if they were, they would fly right over most people's heads. And that makes sense because most people probably can't analyze things beyond what's right in front of them. But at the same time, it's like, what's the point in analyzing robots?
You just have to be the greatest you. And what if the greatest me isn't enough? Mark, you stupid boy. How could the greatest you not be enough? Thank you.
What the fuck? No, incredible scene, guys. That was so natural and definitely not forced. I love it.
I understand. You're not a good man, Arthur, but you're not all bad either. Everything will be... Your journey, your path will be just fine. I'm worried my path is coming to an end, Mr. Swanson.
Now, I want to make it clear that subtlety isn't just for making characters sound natural. Some of my favorite stories aren't supposed to be perfect representations of what a human would sound like. But subtlety is still there and forced dialogue or even plot lines still stick out. Spider-Man 2 I think is a good example of this. When I watched it a few years ago, I remember thinking about how unnatural it felt and how these people didn't act like real humans. The story is more metaphoric, which people have found to be corny and campy, but as I grew to accept it, I found a really great Spider-Man story.
These are all the times we've talked of honesty, fairness, justice. All of those times I counted on you to have the courage to take those dreams out into the world.
But of course, there are unnatural things that still stick out.
I've been reading poetry lately.
Whatever that means.
Day by day.
But with Spider-Man PS4, there's really nothing metaphoric about it. It's just kind of in your face and it feels very forced. Same with Invincible. And it's funny because it's not just with the dialogue, they both also have very forced romance drama plot lines. But yeah, on top of the forced dialogue, Spider-Man PS4 has no character arc for Peter, most of the characters are straight up one-dimensional, the relationships serve such an obvious purpose for the plot, like Aunt May does not feel like a real being. It's just kind of like, oh my god guys, she's so wise guys, she has the best advice for Peter. Like this last scene where Aunt May dies, I genuinely did not feel anything because Aunt May is an emotionless robot. Like, are you seriously telling me that Aunt May doesn't feel an ounce of sadness seeing Peter break down like this? And emotionless seems to be a common theme in this story. Just look at the difference between what it's like to capture Kingpin after so many years of him hurting people.
Finally off to Rikers, huh? You know, I think you've got more enemies in there than I do.
If you think this will be more than a minor inconvenience...
Whoop, gotta go. Hey, good luck, Willie. I have a feeling you're gonna need it.
Idiot! I'm the one who kept order in this city!
1 month! In 1 month you'll wish you had me back!
The Kingpin is heading to prison. End of an era. I feel like I should celebrate. Maybe take a vacation.
You will go back to prison, and you will live the rest of your miserable life in a cage, knowing you'll never have Vanessa. That this city rejected you. It beat you. I beat you.
But no, guys, Peter doesn't give a shit. He's supposed to be the funny guy. This is a game to him. He's supposed to be the cringe kid that makes you physically cringe. Like, damn.
Your favorite tough but lovable, grizzled, seen-too-much detective is in town.
What? No. You promised you wouldn't do that any—
Spider Cop.
Also, I want to talk about how in this scene, Yuri was supposed to get interrupted by Peter. But she says her line, and then she stops like if she got interrupted when she didn't. And then like a second later, Peter comes in to say his line.
What? No. You promised you wouldn't do that
any— Spider Cop.
That is the most unnatural robotic shit ever. And this is actually one of the biggest reasons the dialogue sounds off in this game. You'll notice how it was written in a way where the characters basically take turns talking. Like, you say your line, and then I'll say my line. And it just goes back and forth. Don't interrupt though, because that's not friendly, that's not polite Spider-Man toys.
And when I saw that they were useless, I got us out of there.
How do you know they were useless? Maybe if you just would have given them more time, they could have figured something out.
There is just a small matter of a few hundred eyewitnesses down there.
Okay, but we just need a diversion.
Take it easy, cowboy. You're gonna do yourself a mischief way you're heading.
Micah, shut it!
He started it!
And like, even in the most general sense, the plot is just uninteresting. Like, oh my god, guys, Spider-Man fights these boring ass demons with Mr. Negative and then eventually fights Doc Ock or something. Like, I just can't see why someone would think that this is the perfect Spider-Man story. So anyway, here we have this comment, which I did see it when it was posted, but the reason I was a little hesitant on hearting it is because of the casuals are ruining gaming statement. It's obviously super dramatic, but in a way, you are correct. Now thankfully, there are good writers in the gaming industry, and it just so happens that the people who wrote Spider-Man PS4 simply weren't as skilled as the ones who wrote Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, I do agree because pretty much nobody criticized Spider-Man PS4's writing when it came out. And the people who did were like Spider-Man adaptation analyzers or some shit. But the point is that nobody was criticizing the mediocre writing in this game. In fact, people were praising it like it was perfect. So Insomniac basically has no incentive to improve because they're already getting praise for their mediocre writing. If everyone already loves it, why would they spend extra time and money improving it? Now, watching the story trailer for Spider-Man 2 was a better experience than the first trailer they put out, because that other one screamed generic. There was literally nothing about that trailer that surprised me, and the thing is, it also didn't really surprise any Spider-Man PS4 fans. Like, it isn't a good thing that basically everyone thinks they already know the plot, and they might. Because it's dead-ass looking like it's about to follow the plot of every other Peter Venom story we've seen. But after watching the story trailer, I realized this story is probably going to make the character relationships a lot more dynamic, which is something I cannot say for the last 2 games. You have Peter and Harry, Peter and Miles might have some sort of conflict. Now, the writing itself didn't really look different. Obviously, I haven't played the game, so I can't say much yet, but I don't assume they're suddenly going to have great writing. But with the character dynamics being hinted at, the whole goofy black suit, this story looks like it could be way better and more memorable than the last 2. And for that reason, I am interested and will buy this game for $70. But yeah, ultimately, Spider-Man PS4 is in a weird position where a lot of people love it, but the more seasoned gamers see its cracks. And the thing about these seasoned gamers is that they are a very rare type of gamer. So I'll let my man Terminator take the lead. Play the games that you enjoy and focus on what you respond to. No fanboying and no hating. Because if you do those 2 things, you are an inferior human being, and I thank you because you're the reason the word smart exists. Goodbye.
You want my score? I score 1 through 10. You want it? I'm going to give it to you. You know what I give Spider-Man PS4? I give Spider-Man PS4 a 6.
It is a little something for everyone.